Yeah, so a bit disappointing. Had a bit unlucky with a few players this round. Went down a ranks, which is disappointing, which isn't really, well, I don't think I deserve that, to be honest. Things just didn't go my way with one particular game I'll talk about. Laird, everyone has him, did alright. Stewart, good job, 127. Ridley, he's come back well after his injury. 120, great score. Lloyd, fantastic job. A lot of people have him, no big deal. This has probably been the biggest issue. Whitfield getting injured has cost me probably getting the top 15,000 overall. So, yeah, Whitfield, fortunately, that's just unlucky. It was a risk picking him. I thought he would at least last the season, like he did last year when he came back for his injury, but he's killed me twice, 2 years in a row. So as a result, I'm not going to pick him at all next year. I can't deal with it anymore. Too many injuries this year with the back line. It's just, it's killed me, this back line. Having, what's his name, Daniel injured and Bo's underperforming and CJ picking him at the wrong time. It's probably stuffed me up a bit instead of picking the Meals or even a Daniel Rich, even a Crest. So, yeah, it's just fortunate. Unfortunately, just lucky, more about luck. I mean, he was performing alright too. He got a goal with Whitfield, but then got injured after that. So, yeah, hopefully I'm going to have to bring someone else in, I think. He's playing, I might have to keep him. We'll see how we go. Probably bring in the Mills. I probably can't afford him, only got 34. So probably maybe a Rich. I will have a look to see who I can afford. Short did a lot better. Had concerns about him, but yeah, since Richmond played poorly, I guess the ball's in his defence more. But yeah, as a rookie, I got this round. I got it wrong, I guess. Murphy scoring more, but as long as you have your defenders on, I guess that's all that matters. But yeah, both Murphy scored more than Whitfield, so I mean that's unexpected. That's because Whitfield got injured, but yeah. McRae, a little disappointing from him, to be honest. I was hoping he gets a 130, 140, which is what you want from the captain. Probably should have taken a few other options, to be honest. But you never know. With McRae, he could go 140. And he's probably the player most likely to do this on this list, probably other than maybe a few others. More consistent than pretty much anyone in this team, to be honest, but he probably can't reach as high as some of the other players. Merritt, great job, 143. Reason why I haven't got a terrible score this week. Walsh, fantastic stuff, excellent job. By far Collins' best player. They should sign him, and he's probably going to win a Brownlow soon. Yeah, excellent job from Walsh. Excellent, great 2 weeks in a row, saving from getting absolute disaster of a score in both rounds. Great job from him. So hopefully keeps it up. Oliver, average from his standards. Okay, a lot of people have him. So probably want more from a VC though. Probably want at least 130 bare minimum, 140. I'll take that and do the loophole from there. Very sure, but disappointing. Considering his average is 103, performed a bit below his average. Not a disaster. He's performed worse at points during the season, but you want probably at least over 100, I think, from now. I mean, every player is going to have a bad game now and then. It's probably just an average game. Freo dominated though. It's more of a team effort. So yeah, you'll take it, I guess. Did better than this player, Taranto. This has been probably disappointing now. 64, I mean, just not good enough, particularly this stage of the season. I mean, performing 36 below his average. You want a bare minimum of 100 now from pretty much almost anyone on field. So, yeah, not good enough. You get some players with a disappointing game now and then, but you want at least a bare minimum of 80. 85 is a really poor game, and 64 isn't going to make the cuts. Kill me a bit with the rankings. Not as much as Whitfield, but Whitfield got injured, so I'm not going to go at him too much. But Taranto, disappointing, just not good enough. And Martin, well, everyone got trapped by him, so had a few good rounds, but just hasn't getting those really big, massive scores like we expect him. So he's ended on that round in round one, so he's got like 120 a few times, but you've also been let down by him a few times too, so perhaps I should have gone with Parrish and a few other players over him. I mean, he does have that midfield forward swing though, which is handy for this season, particularly with all the forward injuries. But everyone has him, so it's not really, if you don't have him and you picked another player who's performing better, then you're ahead of everyone else, which is probably the ideal with Supercoach really. Bolton a lot better than the last 2 weeks. Had a good first half, but like most Richmond players, they just went into another world in their first in the last quarter, I should say. 84, you want probably at least 100, bare minimum of 90 from him. Probably been disappointed this season, to be honest. He's had a few good games, but last few weeks just killed it. I mean, it's just been disappointing from his standards and for Richmond as a whole. So 84 is okay, not a disaster like the last couple of weeks, but you probably want 100 pretty much from bare minimum of every player on the field really now from here on in. Bianco, disappointing from him. He's probably not going to make too much more money, but it's not that time of season of making money now. It's about trying to have good cover and hopefully he keeps getting selected. So I don't know if he will. Be concerned about these two players. Hopefully Newcomb was resting, not sure. And Edwards was disappointed the last few games, so I don't know if he will get selected. Depending if West Coast get injuries, so fingers crossed I hope they have some cover. Grundy, great score from him. Probably should have had him as captain. Could argue with that with Walsh, but Walsh is still young and he's going to have a bad game here and there. So probably should have gone with Grundy considering they played Nankervis, I believe, or whoever it was. Richmond don't have a really strong ruckman, so I mean they're okay, but probably should have gone with Grundy. Gawn's just out of it the last month and a bit. Don't know what I mean. He's still getting 100, but he's not getting those big, massive scores like he has the last couple of seasons. So I don't know. I'll probably start with Sean Darcy. I mean, if you hadn't got him the last few weeks, you've been laughing. Probably start with Sean Darcy next season if he's fully fit. Probably have Grundy from captain now on. Who has he got next week? Carlton. Yeah, I'll probably captain next week. Carlton don't have a strong ruckman anymore. Yeah, go on average from him. Really needs to lift up. And I guess Luke Jackson's performing his role a bit, so which is good for Melbourne. It gives Gawn a rest and probably suits Melbourne's style a bit more. And they can play Gawn in either a defence position or forward position if they need to be. Yeah, Reeves, there's been disaster of selection. Hasn't got a game at all. Hopefully neither Gawn or Grundy get injured. So, and hopefully Reeves gets a game soon. Hopefully. Dangerfield, average from his standards. 97, not the worst, not the best. A lot lower than his previous week of 180 or 170 or whatever it was. So, obviously not going to get that from every week from any player, but I guess we'll just take it. 97. Hopefully we can get 110 average plus from him the rest of the season. Depending on who he's playing, we could take in a VC or captain, but he's not as consistent as what he used to be. Still a risk with Dangerfield at his age. Which is probably why I won't select him at the start of the next season. Siebel, fantastic job from him. Yeah, it's just been a saviour in the forward line for everyone this season. So, yeah, I picked Dale over Hall. I don't know, both are risky options to be honest. I mean, Dale's only done it for one season. Hall, I think he had one good season quite a while back, but he hasn't really been consistent until really this season. So, it's still a risk with Hall, Dale really. It's not really the ideal best selections, but it's probably the best what we can really do at this point of the season. Since I already got Dangerfield, I mean, you could have probably gone maybe Marsh, but even he's a bit risky. I won't pick him until probably next season. I reckon he'd be a great selection next season if he's fit and running, because he's probably a higher scorer than most of these players, a better average scorer, and at least Dale, Langford and Horgan probably even, maybe not Zeeble, but Zeeble's only really done this for one season, so Langford, decent from here, considering he got injured, didn't play the last quarter, so hopefully he can play next week. Not as bad as Whitfield injury, so at least the injury wasn't early in the game, otherwise it would have affected my round again even more. I'll take a 98 considering it was only for 3 quarters. If you played another quarter, they could have another 20 points, 20 or 30 points. You could have got 130. And if Whitfield didn't get injured, would have been looking good. Hawkins had a terrible first half, got absolutely killed by Readering. But he played a bit better in the second half, saved his score. Ended up not being a complete disaster. But yeah, 70's not good enough, I guess. For a player like him, I guess it's a 4. With 4-9, you just don't know. It could go either way. It could be a bad game or a good game. But Geelong have a fairly easy run, so hopefully he can get over 100 and get those massive scores, which will put me at a huge advantage since he's a hard and too many people have him. A few people do have him, but due to the 4-line bullshit we all had to deal with. Sidebottom now, this is probably going to kill me, this pick. At the moment, he's had a few good games, but he's not performing as consistent as what he used to. Injury might have affected him, to be honest. His last 2 weeks been an absolute disaster, so it's had better than last week. 33, you can't have that. But yeah, I don't know, with Sidebottom, probably should have got Hall instead, but he's a 4 midfielder, I guess, and he's performed more consistent than Hall. So, it's a risk that I probably got wrong. It's tough with the 4-line this season. It's going to make it or break it for a lot of teams. So, hopefully he bounces back. Who did Collingwood got? Carlton. Hopefully he can perform better against them. I reckon he will. Hopefully he gets a minimum of 80 plus. Want more, but yeah, it's killed me this round. Madden got a game, 64. Did better than Sidebottom. I'll take that if that's an emergency score. That's okay. Hope we can get a game and have cover. Fortunately, Briggs didn't get selected despite playing well the last few weeks. I think because Mumford and Flynn are still in. So once Mumford retires, Briggs will probably get more of a go, I'd say. He might be even a good selection later on. Who knows? Overall, could have probably gotten an extra. Whitfield got like 110, another 80 points from him there. Taranto, another 40 points there with 105, so 40, another 80, 120. Hawkins did a bit better. That's another 30, 150. Sidebottom did a bit better. Say if you got a 90 or 100, 40 points there. 30 points, I should say, 30 or 40 points. Looking at probably another 180 points. I could have gotten, and that would have put me in a way better position. I could have got 2,560 and it would have put me in an excellent position for this round and put me probably close or in that top 15k, which is my goal from here on in. Middle's really killed me, just bad luck. Always have a few players performing crap each round. It just stuff me up. Just can never get a full round where everyone performs to their potential. It's probably kill me compared to other teams, even though they have a weaker team on paper. A lower team value, they still perform better because they just have more consistent players that perform more to their potential. So, I guess that just poor, just being a bit unlucky. And that's it.